The warning lights turned red across the entire station. Ambassador Kira Ven stared at the screen in her office, her three-fingered hands shaking. The message was clear and terrible. A Ravager fleet was coming. They would arrive in less than 6 hours. She ran to the command center, her long robes flowing behind her. Commander Talvor was already there, barking orders to his security team. His face was gray with worry. "How many ships?" Ven asked. Talvor turned to her. His eyes were dark. 32 vessels, 8 destroyers. The rest are frigates and fighters. More than 100 small attack craft. Ven felt her heart sink. She had 2 hearts, like all Valarans. Right now, both were beating too fast. "Where is our defense fleet?" "Gone." Talvor slammed his fist on the console. "They responded to a distress call 3 hours ago. It was a trap. The Ravagers planned this perfectly. Our ships are too far away. They cannot return in time." Ven looked at the screen showing their station. Horizon's Edge was home to 40,000 people. Men, women, children. 12 different species lived here. Many were refugees who had nowhere else to go. The station had some weapons, but they were old. Without the defense fleet, they had almost no chance. "How long until our fleet returns?" she asked. 14 hours, maybe more. "And the Ravagers arrive in 6. Talvor nodded slowly. "I have already sent emergency calls to the Galactic Council. The nearest military force is the Kryn Battle Group. They are 13 hours away." Ven sat down heavily. Too late. Everyone was too late. The Ravagers were famous for one thing. They left no survivors. They would kill everyone on the station, take everything valuable, and destroy what remained. She thought of the children in the station schools, the families in the housing sections, the old ones in the medical center. All of them would die in 6 hours. "We should evacuate," Talvor said. "Get as many people as possible onto transport ships." "Where will they go?" Ven asked. "The Ravagers will hunt down every ship that leaves. You know this." Before Talvor could answer, someone knocked on the command center door. A human walked in. Ven recognized him. Captain Hyun-sik, a merchant trader. His small ship was docked at the station, delivering medical supplies. "Ambassador," Hyun-sik said, "I heard about the Ravagers. I want to help." Ven liked Captain Hyun-sik. He was always polite and honest. But right now she had no time for merchants. "Captain, you should leave immediately. Take your ship and run. Maybe you can escape before they arrive." Hyun-sik shook his head. "I am not running. I want to send a message, through human military channels." Talvor laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Human military? No offense, Captain, but your species just joined the Galactic Council 2 years ago. You have no major military presence in this sector." "That is what everyone thinks," Hyun-sik said quietly. "But we have response teams, special teams. They handle situations like this." Ven wanted to believe him, but it seemed impossible. "Captain, even if your military could help, they cannot arrive in time. The Ravagers will be here in 6 hours. Even our fastest ships need half a day to reach us." Hyun-sik pulled out a small communication device. "Let me try. The worst that happens is nobody comes. But if they do come..." He paused. "Humans are very good at fighting. We have had a lot of practice." Ven exchanged glances with Talvor. The commander shrugged. What did they have to lose? "Send your message," Ven said. Hyun-sik activated the device. He spoke in the human language first, then switched to Galactic Common. "This is Captain Hyun-sik, Merchant Vessel Morning Star. Sending emergency request to Human Military Command. Civilian station under imminent attack by Ravager fleet. 40,000 civilians, multiple species, requesting immediate assistance. Station designation, Horizon's Edge, Valera Sector." The device beeped. Someone answered almost immediately. A calm female voice spoke in Galactic Common. "Captain Hyun-sik, this is Fleet Command. We received your message. What is your situation?" Hyun-sik explained quickly. "The Ravager fleet. The missing defense ships. The timeline. 6 hours." There was a pause. Then the voice spoke again. "Understood. Kill Team Talon is in your sector. We are diverting them to your location. ETA 4 hours. Tell the station to hold position and prepare for defensive operations. The communication ended. Ven stared at Hyun-sik. Kill Team? What is a kill team? Special Forces, Hyun-sik explained. Small units, very highly trained. They handle difficult situations. Telvor was checking his computer. How many ships are in this kill team? Usually 1 ship, Hyun-sik said. Maybe 12 to 15 soldiers. The command center went quiet. Finally, Telvor spoke. 1 ship, 15 soldiers at most, against a fleet of 32 warships and hundreds of fighters. I know how it sounds, Hyun-sik said, but humans fight differently than other species. We come from a dangerous world, a death world. We have been fighting wars for thousands of years. We know how to survive. We know how to win. Ven wanted to feel hope, but 1 small ship could not stop a fleet. Captain, I appreciate your effort, but this is not realistic. 1 ship cannot save us. Then you do not know humans very well, Hyun-sik said. He was not angry. He was just stating a fact. 4 hours. That is all I ask. Give them 4 hours to arrive. If they cannot help, you can evacuate then. Ven thought about it. 4 hours would leave them with 2 hours before the Ravagers arrived. Not much time, but better than nothing. Very well, she said. We will wait for your kill team. The next 4 hours moved slowly. Ven ordered all civilians to move to the interior sections of the station, the safest areas. Telvor prepared his security teams. They had weapons, but not enough to fight a fleet. 3.5 hours after Hyun-sik sent his message, the sensors beeped. A ship had arrived at the edge of the system. It had come out of faster-than-light travel. Telvor checked the readings. It is a human ship, small, Corvette class, stealth design. He looked up at Ven. Just 1 ship. I was hoping there would be more. Ven felt her hope dying. 1 small ship against a fleet. A communication came through, a human woman's voice, strong and calm. Horizon's Edge. This is Major Park, Kill Team Talon. We are here to help. Requesting permission to dock and brief with Station Command. Ven pressed the communication button. Permission granted, Major Park, but I must tell you the situation is very bad. The Ravager fleet has 32 ships. You are just 1 small vessel. There was a pause. Then Major Park spoke again. Her voice was steady and confident. Ambassador, we have handled worse. Give us a chance. That is all we need. Major Ji-won Park walked into the command center with her team behind her. Ven studied the humans carefully. There were only 5 of them. 5 soldiers to save 40,000 lives. Major Park was not very tall, but she moved with complete confidence. Her dark eyes took in everything. Behind her came 4 other humans. A tall man with quiet eyes. A woman with a heavy weapons pack on her back. A younger man carrying medical equipment. And finally, a pilot in a flight suit. Ambassador Ven, Commander Telvor, Major Park said. She did not salute or bow. She simply nodded with respect. I am Major Ji-won Park. This is Lieutenant Tae-jin Kwan, Sergeant Ha-yoon Choi, Corporal Woo Sung-nam, and Captain Dae-hyun Lee. We are Kill Team Talon. Only 5 of you? Telvor could not hide his shock. The message said 12 to 15 soldiers. The rest of the team is preparing our equipment on the ship, Major Park explained. We brought everyone we could. 12 total, including us. 12 soldiers. Ven felt sick. Major Park, I appreciate that you came. But 12 soldiers cannot stop a fleet. Perhaps you should help us evacuate instead. Major Park pulled up a holographic display. It showed the Ravager fleet's approach path. We are not here to evacuate. We are here to stop them. Show me everything you know about the Ravager fleet. For the next hour, they shared information. The Ravagers had 8 destroyers, each one heavily armed. 24 frigates provided support. Over 100 small fighters would attack the station directly. The Ravager commander was named Warlord Kresh. He was famous for brutal attacks. Major Park listened to everything. She asked questions. How fast did the Ravagers move? What weapons did they prefer? What formation did they use? She was very calm, like she was planning a simple mission, not a battle against impossible odds. Finally, she turned to her team. Thoughts? Lieutenant Quan spoke first. His voice was soft, almost gentle. The approach corridor is narrow. They will have to come through single file at first. That gives us an advantage. Sergeant Choi nodded. She was checking something on her data pad. We can deploy the minefield here and here. She pointed at the display. If we time it right, we take out their vanguard before they know what is happening. Corporal Nam was studying the station's layout. Medical center is here. If civilians are injured, I can set up a triage point, but I think we can avoid civilian casualties completely if we engage them before they reach the station. Captain Lee, the pilot, was smiling. Their fighters will be the biggest problem. Over 100 of them. But the silent arrow can handle it. I just need to draw them away from the station. Ven interrupted. Wait, you plan to fight them in space? Your one ship against their entire fleet? Not exactly, Major Park said. We are going to make them think they are fighting a fleet. Lieutenant Quan will infiltrate one of their ships after we disable it. He will hack their communications, feed them false information, make them confused. Sergeant Choi will handle the heavy weapons, Park continued. She will operate our railgun systems and mines. Corporal Nam will manage our electronic warfare and medical support. Captain Lee will pilot and engage their fighters. And what will you do, Major? Talvor asked. I will command the operation, Park said simply. And I will make sure the Ravagers understand what they are facing. Talvor shook his head. This is insane. You are talking about attacking a fleet with one small ship. This is not possible. Major Park looked at him. Her eyes were hard now. Commander, my team has fought against worse odds. We have stopped pirate invasions, destroyed terrorist cells, and rescued hostages from heavily defended positions. We are trained for this. This is what we do. But you are just 12 people, Ven said. Lieutenant Quan spoke quietly. Ambassador, humans have a saying. It is not the size of the dog in the fight. It is the size of the fight in the dog. He paused. We are very good at fighting. Earth taught us that. What do you mean? Ven asked. Sergeant Choi answered. Our world is dangerous. Extreme weather, predators, diseases. Humans have always had to fight to survive. For thousands of years, we fought each other. Wars. Millions of wars. We learned how to fight very well. When we finally stopped fighting each other and joined the Galactic Council, Corporal Nam added, we brought all that knowledge with us. We know war. We know tactics. We know how to win against larger forces. Captain Lee grinned. Plus, we are very stubborn. We do not give up, ever. Major Park brought up a timeline. We have 2 hours before the Ravagers arrive. Here is what we will do. First, we deploy micromines along their approach path. Thousands of them. Small, almost invisible. When the Ravagers enter the corridor, we activate them. She pointed to another section. Second, Silent Arrow will position here, in the station's sensor shadow. The Ravagers will not see us until we want them to. Third, when they enter the kill zone, we strike fast and hard. Disable as many ships as possible in the first attack. What about their destroyers? Talvor asked. They have heavy shields and armor. We do not need to destroy them, Major Park said. We just need to disable them. Take out their engines, their weapons. Make them useless. A ship that cannot move or shoot is not a threat. Ven felt something strange. It might have been hope. These humans were so confident, so calm. They truly believed they could do this. Major Park, Ven said slowly. If you fail, everyone on this station dies, including your team. Park nodded. I understand. That is why we will not fail. She looked at her team. Get to work. We have 2 hours. Let us make them count. The team moved quickly. They returned to their ship and began preparations. Ven and Talvor watched on the sensors as the Silent Arrow left the docking bay. It was a beautiful ship, sleek and dark, built for stealth and speed. Over the next hour, the sensors picked up strange readings in the approach corridor. The humans were deploying something, thousands of small objects. "What are those?" Telvor asked Captain Hyun-sik, who had stayed in the command center. "Micromines," Hyun-sik explained. "They are very small, hard to detect. They do not explode like normal mines. They attach to ships and disable specific systems. Engines, weapons, life support if necessary." "That is a war crime," Telvor said. "Mines are banned by Galactic Council law." "Not these mines," Hyun-sik said. "They are designed to disable, not kill. Humans follow the rules of war. But we also know how to use those rules to our advantage." Ven watched the silent arrow move into position. It disappeared from sensors completely. The stealth systems were incredible. Then Major Park's voice came through the communication system. "Horizon's Edge. This is Kill Team Talon. We are in position. Minefield is active. All systems ready. Now we wait for the Ravagers." Ven looked at the countdown timer. 45 minutes until the Ravager fleet arrived. "Major Park," Ven said. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for trying." "We are not just trying, Ambassador," Park replied. "We are going to win. You called for help. Humans always answer that call." The command center went quiet. Everyone watched the sensors, waiting, hoping, praying that these 12 humans could do the impossible. The Ravager fleet appeared on sensors exactly on time. 32 ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. They moved in perfect formation, confident and deadly. Ven watched the display with her hearts pounding. So many ships. The destroyers were massive, covered in weapons. The frigates surrounded them like guards, and the fighters swarmed around the fleet like angry insects. A communication came through. The voice was rough and cruel. "Attention, Horizon's Edge. This is Warlord Kresh of the Ravager fleet. You will surrender all valuable goods and technology. You will transfer all credits to our accounts. If you obey, we will let most of you live. If you resist, everyone dies. You have 5 minutes to decide." Telvor looked at Ven. "Should we respond?" Before Ven could answer, Major Park's voice cut through the channel. "Ravager fleet, this is Human Kill Team Talon. You are threatening a civilian station under Galactic Council protection. You have one chance to withdraw. Turn around and leave now." For a moment there was silence. Then Warlord Kresh laughed. It was a horrible sound, full of mockery. "Humans? The new species that just joined the Council? You are children playing at war. How many ships do you have? 1? 2? "One ship," Major Park said calmly. 12 soldiers." The laughter got louder. Ven could hear other Ravagers laughing in the background. "One ship, 12 soldiers. This is wonderful. Tell me, little human, what do you think you can do against my fleet?" Major Park's voice was cold as ice. "I am going to give you one more chance. Withdraw now. This is your only warning." "Or what?" Kresh sounded amused. "You will board all my ships? Fight my 3,000 warriors? I have been raiding for 20 years. I have destroyed entire planets. I will crush you like an insect." "Your funeral," Major Park said. "All teams, execute." Immediately, things started happening very fast. The Ravager Vanguard entered the approach corridor. 12 frigates moved ahead of the main fleet, their weapons powered up and ready. Then the minefield activated. Ven had never seen anything like it. Thousands of tiny mines, invisible until now, suddenly lit up. They swarmed the frigates like metal bees. Within seconds, every ship in the Vanguard was covered in them. The mines did not explode. Instead, they attached to specific points on each ship. Engines, weapon systems, shield generators. They burned through armor with focused cutting beams. In less than 30 seconds, all 12 frigates were dead in space. Their engines were dark. Their weapons were offline. The ships just drifted, completely helpless. Kresh's laughter stopped immediately. "What? How? All ships, defensive formation, launch fighters." The Ravager fighters poured out of the larger ships. Over 100 small attack craft accelerated toward the station. They would reach it in minutes. Then the silent arrow appeared. It came out of nowhere, its stealth systems deactivating. The human ship was so fast it seemed to teleport. One moment it was hidden, The next moment, it was in the middle of the fighter formation. Captain Lee's voice was calm over the radio. Engaging fighters, Sergeant Choi, weapons free. The silent arrow's railgun started firing. Ven had seen railguns before, but not like this. The human weapon fired solid metal projectiles at incredible speeds. No explosions, no energy beams, just chunks of metal moving faster than most missiles. Each shot destroyed a fighter instantly. The projectile punched straight through shields and armor like they were paper. But it was not just the weapon. It was the flying. Captain Lee moved the silent arrow in ways that seemed impossible. He spun and rolled and twisted through space. The ship dodged incoming fire with centimeters to spare. Enemy missiles passed so close they almost touched the hull, but Lee always stayed just ahead of them. "How is he doing that?" Telvor whispered. "The G-forces should kill him." Captain Hyunsik smiled. "Humans have very good reflexes, and our artificial gravity systems protect the crew. Captain Lee is one of the best pilots in the human military. Watch." The silent arrow dove straight down, then flipped and accelerated upward. 10 fighters that had been chasing it crashed into each other, unable to turn fast enough. Lee did not even need to shoot them. He carved through the fighter formation like a knife through soft fruit. In 3 minutes, he destroyed 30 fighters. Another 20 were damaged and retreating. Warlord Kresh was screaming orders now. "All destroyers, target that ship! Fire everything!" The 8 destroyers opened fire. Energy beams and missiles filled space. It looked like a storm of light and death. The silent arrow vanished again. Its stealth systems activated, and the ship disappeared from sensors. The destroyer's weapons hit empty space. "Where did it go?" Kresh shouted. "Find it! Find that ship!" Ven realized she was holding her breath. The humans had hurt the Ravagers badly, but the main fleet was still intact. 8 destroyers and 12 undamaged frigates. That was still more than enough firepower to destroy the station. Then, Lieutenant Kwan's voice came through the Ravager communication channel. "Attention, all Ravager ships. This is your fleet commander. New orders. Destroyers 3 and 5, target Destroyer 7. It has been compromised by human infiltration." "What?" Destroyer 7's captain sounded confused. "We are not compromised. Who is this?" "This is Commander Vrex." The voice sounded exactly like the Ravager second in command. "Destroyer 7 has been hacked. Their systems are under human control. Destroy them now." "That is not Commander Vrex," the real Vrex shouted. "Do not listen." But it was too late. In the chaos and confusion, 3 destroyers fired on each other. Their weapons tore into friendly shields. Explosions bloomed across Destroyer 7's hull. "Stop firing!" Kresh roared. "That is an enemy trick. Humans are in our communication system." Ven stared at the display in amazement. "How did they hack the Ravager communications?" "Lieutenant Kwan must have boarded one of the disabled frigates," Hyunsik explained. "He is inside their network now, feeding them false orders, making them fight each other." More confusion spread through the Ravager fleet. Ships received conflicting orders. Some were told to attack the station. Others were told to defend specific positions. 3 frigates actually started fighting each other because both thought the other was compromised. Kresh was losing control of his fleet. Ven could hear the panic in his voice. "All ships, switch to backup communication. Ignore all orders unless they come directly from me on the secure channel." The Ravagers started to regroup. They were damaged and confused, but still dangerous. Kresh was smart enough to adapt. "This is over," he snarled. "All ships, prepare to jump to faster than light speed. We are leaving." "Negative," Major Park's voice cut in. "Corporal Nam, execute protocol blackout." The silent arrow appeared again, this time above the Ravager fleet. It released something. A pulse of energy spread out in all directions. Every ship's display flickered. Then alarms started ringing throughout the Ravager fleet. "Sir, our faster-than-light drive is offline," one captain reported. "Same here," another said. "We cannot jump." "All ships reporting drive failure," Vrex shouted. "What did they do?" Corporal Nam's voice was professional and calm. "Electromagnetic pulse, Ravager fleet. We have disabled your faster-than-light drives. You are trapped in this system until we decide to let you go. Warlord Kresh's voice was no longer confident. For the first time, Ven heard fear in it. This is impossible. You are 12 soldiers. How are you doing this? Major Park answered. We trained for this. We prepared for this. And we are very, very good at our job. Now, let me make this simple. You can surrender, or we can board every single one of your ships and take them by force. Your choice. You have 1 minute to decide. Warlord Kresh's response was filled with rage. You think we will surrender to 12 humans? Never. All ships. Attack the station. Kill everyone. If we cannot escape, we will complete our mission. The Ravager fleet turned toward Horizon's edge. Weapons charged. Missiles armed. They were going to destroy everything. Major Park's voice was ice cold. Bad choice. All teams, execute boarding operations. Ven watched in shock as the silent arrow accelerated toward the Ravager fleet. What are they doing? They cannot board ships while under fire. Captain Hyunsik pointed at the display. Watch closely, Ambassador. The silent arrow split apart. No, it was releasing smaller craft. Boarding pods shot out from the main ship like bullets. 12 pods, each one carrying a human soldier toward a different Ravager vessel. The pods were incredibly fast and small. The Ravagers tried to shoot them down, but they were too difficult to target. Within seconds, the pods attached to 12 different ships, 3 destroyers and 9 frigates. Breaching now, Major Park's voice reported. The displays showed what happened next. It was brutal and efficient. Sergeant Ha Yun Choi's team hit Warlord Kresh's flagship. She wore a powered combat suit that made her incredibly strong. The suit was dark gray and covered in weapons. When she stepped out of the boarding pod, she looked like a walking tank. The Ravagers waiting at the breach point opened fire immediately. Energy weapons hit her armor, but it did not slow her down. She raised her heavy weapon and fired back. The gun was loud even through the vacuum of space. It fired explosive rounds that tore through the corridor. Ravager warriors fell like grass before a blade. Ha-Un walked forward, never stopping, never slowing. This is Hammer Team, she reported. Her voice was calm despite the chaos around her. We are moving to engineering. Resistance is moderate. Ven could see the combat footage from Ha-Un's helmet camera. It was terrifying. The humans did not just shoot and take cover. They advanced, always forward, always attacking. The Ravagers were larger and stronger individually, but they could not stop the human assault. Ha-Un reached the flagship's engineering section in 4 minutes. She planted explosive charges on the main power conduits. Charges set. Flagship's weapons will be offline in 30 seconds. On another ship, Lieutenant Tae-Jin Kwan worked differently. He moved like a ghost through the corridors. Silent, precise, deadly. His team of 3 humans moved with him, perfectly coordinated. They did not wear heavy armor like Ha-Un. Instead, they wore light suits designed for speed and stealth. They used small weapons with perfect accuracy. Ven watched Tae-Jin enter a room full of Ravager soldiers. He moved so fast she could barely follow. 3 shots, 3 kills. He rolled behind cover as return fire came his way. His teammates flanked the enemy from 2 sides. In seconds, the room was clear. Ghost team approaching the bridge, Tae-Jin reported, encountering heavy resistance, proceeding as planned. His team moved up through the ship. They used grenades to breach locked doors. They hacked terminals to disable security systems. They were like surgeons cutting through the ship's defenses with precision. Corporal Woo Sung Nam led the 3rd team. His job was different. He needed to disable ship systems without killing everyone on board. His team carried special equipment, electronic warfare tools, hacking devices, and medical supplies. When they encountered Ravager crew members, they offered them a choice. Surrender, and you will not be harmed. Fight, and we will defend ourselves. Some Ravagers chose to fight. Those battles were quick and one-sided. The humans were simply better fighters, faster reactions, better training, superior tactics. But many Ravagers chose to surrender. They dropped their weapons and raised their hands. Wu Sung's team secured them with electronic restraints and moved them to safe areas. Medic team has secured engineering on Frigate 4, Wu Sung reported. We have 17 prisoners, 3 Ravager wounded, treating them now. Ven was amazed. They are treating the enemy wounded? Humans follow rules of war, Captain Hyun-sik explained. Once an enemy surrenders or is unable to fight, they receive medical care. It is not just mercy, it is strategy. If the Ravagers know they will be treated well when they surrender, more will surrender. He was right. As word spread through the Ravager fleet that humans were taking prisoners and treating the wounded, more Ravagers stopped fighting. Entire sections of ships surrendered without resistance. But Warlord Kresh was not surrendering. He was on his flagship's bridge, and he was furious. Lieutenant Tae-jin's team reached the bridge door. It was heavily armored and locked. Tae-jin studied it for a moment, then spoke into his radio. Major Park, we are at the flagship bridge. The door is reinforced. We can breach it. But it will take time. How much time? Major Park asked. 5 minutes. You have 3 minutes, Park replied. I am broadcasting to the entire Ravager fleet in 2 minutes. I want Kresh secured before then. Tae-jin smiled inside his helmet. Understood. Adjusting approach. He turned to his team. Plan B. We go through the ceiling. They used cutting tools to burn through the metal above the bridge. It was quieter than blasting through the door. When they made a hole large enough, Tae-jin dropped through first. He landed in the middle of the bridge. Warlord Kresh spun around, weapon raised. Tae-jin was faster. His weapon was aimed at Kresh's head before the Warlord could fire. Do not move, Tae-jin said quietly. Tell your crew to put down their weapons. Kresh looked around. The rest of Tae-jin's team had dropped through the ceiling. They had weapons pointed at every crew member on the bridge. You are one human, Kresh said. Even if you kill me, my fleet will fight on. I am not going to kill you, Tae-jin said. But I am going to stop you. He moved forward with incredible speed and struck Kresh with the butt of his weapon. The Warlord fell unconscious. Bridge secured, Tae-jin reported. Kresh is alive but neutralized. Major Park's voice came through the communication system. She was broadcasting to every ship in the Ravager fleet. This is Major Park of Human Kill Team Talon. Your Warlord has been captured. Your flagship is under our control. We have teams on 12 of your ships. Your weapons are disabled. Your engines are offline. You cannot escape. She paused. You have lost. But you do not have to die. Here are your options. Surrender now, and you will be treated according to Galactic Council laws. You will be arrested and tried fairly. Or continue fighting, and we will take your ships by force. More of you will die. Look at what we have done so far. We are 12 soldiers. We have disabled 32 ships. We have captured your commander. We have done this in less than 1 hour. Ask yourselves, if we can do this much in 1 hour, what can we do in 1 day? In 1 week? Another pause. I am giving you 5 minutes to decide. Lay down your weapons and power down your ships, or we will come for you. Every single one of you. The communication ended. Ven watched the tactical display, holding her breath. 1 minute passed, then 2. At 3 minutes, one of the frigates powered down its weapons. Frigate 12 surrendering, a voice said over the radio. We are powering down all systems. Then another frigate. Then a destroyer. Like falling dominoes, the Ravager ships surrendered one by one. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds, the last destroyer powered down. All Ravager vessels have surrendered, Telvor said. He sounded like he could not believe his own words. The battle is over. Major Park's voice came through one more time. Horizon's Edge, this is Kill Team Talon. The Ravager fleet has been neutralized. Station is secure. 0 civilian casualties. We will maintain control of the Ravager ships until Galactic Council forces arrive to take custody. Ven felt tears in her eyes, all 3 of them. Velerans had 3 eyes, and all 3 were crying now. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you. The civilians came out of the shelters slowly, afraid to believe it was really over. When they saw the Ravager fleet disabled and captured, they started to cheer. The sound echoed through the entire station. Ven stood in the docking bay as the silent arrow came home. The human ship docked gently, and the boarding ramp extended. Major Park walked down first, followed by her team. They looked tired but unhurt. Sergeant Ha-Un had some scorch marks on her armor. Lieutenant Tae-jin had a small cut on his forehead. Corporal Woo-sung carried a medical kit that looked lighter than before. Captain Dae-hyun was smiling. Ven rushed forward. She did not care about diplomatic protocol. She grabbed Major Park's hands in her own. Thank you. Thank you for saving us. For saving everyone. Major Park looked surprised by the emotion. But she smiled. We were just doing our job, Ambassador. You sent a call for help. We answered. Just doing your job? Talvor walked up, shaking his head. You defeated an entire fleet with 12 soldiers. You did the impossible. Not impossible, Lieutenant Tae-jin said quietly. Just difficult. We have had good training. Sergeant Ha-yun was checking her weapon, making sure it was safe. The Ravagers made mistakes. They were overconfident. They did not expect real resistance. We used that against them. You did more than that, Ven said. You fought with such skill, such precision. I have never seen anything like it. Captain Dae-hyun laughed. You should see us when we are really trying. This was actually pretty easy. Corporal Woo-sung elbowed him. Do not listen to Captain Lee. He thinks everything is easy. But the ambassador is right. We were lucky today. The Ravagers could have been smarter, better prepared. They were not ready for us, Major Park said. Most species in the galaxy do not fight the way humans do. They think in terms of big fleets and large armies. We think in terms of small teams and precise strikes. Over the next hour, the team secured all the Ravager ships. They used electronic locks and remote monitoring systems. The Ravager crews were confined to their quarters under guard. Warlord Kresh was brought to the station's security center. He was conscious now, his hands locked in restraints. He stared at Major Park with hatred and fear. How? He asked. How did 12 humans defeat my fleet? Major Park studied him for a moment. Because we have been fighting for thousands of years. Our planet made us into warriors. When we finally stopped fighting each other, we became the best soldiers in the galaxy. I have raided for 20 years, Kresh said. I have destroyed colonies, killed thousands. No one has ever stopped me like this. That is because you never faced humans before, Major Park said simply. Now you know. Spread the word when you get to prison. Tell other raiders and pirates. If you attack civilians, if you threaten innocents, humans will come, and we will stop you. 9 hours after the battle, Galactic Council forces arrived. A fleet of 12 warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Their commander was a tall alien named Nexara, a member of the Council's military leadership. Nexara came to the station expecting to find destruction and death. Instead, she found the Ravager fleet disabled and captured, civilians safe and celebrating, and 12 humans writing reports. She met with Major Park in the command center. Ven and Talvor were there, along with Captain Hyun-sik. Major Park, Nexara said, I have read the initial reports. I have reviewed the combat footage. I must ask you directly. How is this possible? How did 12 soldiers defeat a fleet of 32 ships? Major Park brought up the tactical display. We used the terrain to our advantage. The approach corridor limited their formation. We deployed micromines to disable their vanguard. We used stealth and speed to engage their fighters. We hacked their communications to create confusion. And when they still would not surrender, we boarded their ships and took control directly. We fought smart, not hard. We used our training and experience. Nexara sat down slowly. Your species has been in the Galactic Council for only 2 years. In that time, you have achieved what some species take centuries to learn. How? Captain Hyun-sik answered. Because we have been fighting for our entire history. Humans are from Earth, a death world, a planet that tries to kill us every day. Extreme weather, dangerous animals, diseases. We learn to survive. And when we survived the planet, we fought each other, Lieutenant Tae-jin added. Wars, thousands of them. We learned strategy, tactics, how to win against larger forces, how to adapt and overcome. Sergeant Ha-un spoke up. When we joined the Galactic Council, we did not forget those lessons. We just changed who we fight for. Now we fight for others. For people who need help. For civilians who cannot defend themselves. Nexara was quiet for a long moment. Finally, she spoke. The Council needs to know about this. About what you can do. We have many threats in the galaxy. Pirates. Raiders. Terrorists. If humans can respond like this, we can, Major Park said. We have dozens of kill teams, spread across multiple sectors. When someone calls for help, we answer. It is what we do. Nexara nodded slowly. I will recommend to the Council that human military forces be given priority response status for civilian emergencies. When there is a threat, we should call you first. We would be honored, Major Park said. Over the next few days, the story spread through the entire sector. 12 humans had saved 40,000 civilians. One small ship had defeated a notorious pirate fleet. People started calling it the Battle of Horizon's Edge. Young aliens came to the station to see the humans. They asked for autographs and pictures. They wanted to hear the story from the soldiers themselves. Sergeant Ha-Un was uncomfortable with the attention. We are not heroes. We just did our job. But Ven disagreed. You are heroes. You risked your lives for strangers. For people you did not know. That is the definition of heroism. Lieutenant Taejin smiled. Where we come from, this was a normal day. We have done missions much harder than this. Like what? A young alien child asked. Corporal Wu Sung knelt down to the child's level. Once we rescued hostages from a space station that was falling into a star. We had 12 minutes to get everyone out. That was harder. The child's eyes went wide. Did everyone survive? Everyone, Wu Sung confirmed. We do not leave people behind. Ever. On the day Kill Team Talon prepared to leave, the entire station gathered to say goodbye. Thousands of people lined the corridors near the docking bay. They cheered and waved as the humans walked past. Ambassador Ven gave a speech. Today we say goodbye to the humans who saved our lives, but we will never forget what they did. They came when we called. They fought when others would have run. They protected us when we could not protect ourselves. She looked at Major Park. You told me that humans always answer the call for help. I believe you now. And I will tell everyone in the galaxy, if you are in danger, call the humans. They will come. Major Park bowed respectfully. Thank you, Ambassador. It has been an honor to serve. As the team walked onto their ship, Captain Dae-hyun looked back at the crowd. You know, I think we made some friends today. We did, Major Park agreed, and we showed the galaxy what humans can do. Lieutenant Tae-jin checked his equipment. Where are we going next? Major Park pulled up a star map. We received a new call while we were here. Mining colony in the Zelar system. They are under attack by unknown hostile forces. They need help. How many enemies? Sergeant Ha-un asked. Reports are unclear. Maybe 50 ships, maybe more. Corporal Wu Sung started preparing medical supplies. When do we arrive? 6 hours, Captain Dae-hyun said, already calculating the course. Major Park smiled. Then we have 6 hours to rest. After that, we go back to work. The silent arrow undocked from Horizon's Edge. As it prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, Ambassador Ven watched from the command center. Will we see them again? Telvor asked. Maybe, Ven said. Or maybe they will be busy saving someone else, somewhere else. Captain Hyun-sik stood with them, watching the human ship disappear into the stars. There are dozens of teams like this, spread across the galaxy. Wherever someone calls for help, humans answer. Ven updated the station's emergency protocols. She created a new priority contact list. At the very top, she wrote, Human kill teams, emergency response. She added a note below it. When death comes calling, call those who have mastered it. As the silent arrow vanished into faster-than-light travel, heading toward its next mission, Major Park looked at her team. They were tired, but ready, always ready. Another call for help, she said. Another chance to prove that humans keep their promises. Lieutenant Tae-jin checked his weapons. We will get there in time. Sergeant Ha-Un nodded. And we will win. Corporal Wu Sung smiled. Because that is what we do. Captain Dae-hyun set the final course. Kill Team Talon. Ready for action. And in the darkness of space, the silent arrow raced toward those who needed help, carrying 12 humans who would never stop answering the call.